Hello my loves, what is up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading, but before we hop into it, I wanted to give a huge shout out to Keen for sponsoring today's video. If you have not heard of them before, they're essentially a huge online platform where you can browse through different psychics, tarot readers, spiritual advisors that can answer your life's questions. A couple of the things that I really love about Keen is the fact that they're all online and they're 24/7, so no matter where you are in the world, no matter what time of day, you can go on there and browse different psychics that you can choose from, and you can choose the method of contacting a psychic, whether that be phone call, instant message, or email. And you can also choose the amount of time that you want to spend with a psychic. You are not dedicated to a whole hour or anything like that. Even if you have just one question, you can go on to Keen, get that one question answered, and you only pay for the amount of time that you actually end up using. So those are the main reasons why I love Keen so much. I highly recommend checking them out. They also make the sign-up process super simple. Basically, when you go on there, they will ask you a few different questions, and then they'll match you with their most recommended psychics for you based on the questions that you previously answered, which makes the process super simple. And if you are already a member of Keen, they also send out weekly specials, so I highly recommend checking those out because that allows you to return to Keen whenever you have questions that you want answered. And my personal experience with Keen has been great so far. I've found some really accurate psychics on there who have predicted some really cool stuff for me, so I highly recommend them. But personally, I recommend trying out a few different psychics before finding the one that you want to spend the most time with. For myself, I'm usually really picky when it comes to the psychics that I choose, so I noticed for me personally, I enjoyed trying out a few different ones before choosing the one that I wanted to spend all of my time with and ask the most in-depth questions with. So highly recommend going about it that way to find the psychics that you enjoy the most. And if you are interested in giving Keen a try, you can head to my link trykeen.com/gem to get your first 10 minutes for only $1.99. And again, that is trykeen.com/gem to get your first 10 minutes for only $1.99, which is up to $50 in savings. So I highly recommend taking advantage of that deal. There will be a link down below for easy access. And again, a huge thank you to Keen for sponsoring today's video. I hope you love them just as much as I do. And without further ado, let's hop right back into today's pick a card reading. Hello my loves, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a new pick a card reading, and this one is all about your June 2022 month ahead prediction. Super excited about it. If you are new to pick a card readings, I'm going to give you a quick little rundown of how they work. So over here we have pile number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can take a moment, pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. Then once you're done choosing your pile, there's going to be timestamps linked down below in the description box as well as the comment box so that you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading all about your month of June of 2022. I also want to announce a quick little announcement before we pop crystals on these cards. I know some of you guys like to choose with crystals, but quick little really important announcement. I am launching my tarot course and my ebook. Depending on when you are watching this video, it may have already launched, but all the info will be down below for those of you that are interested in that. And if you want to be the first to know about when it releases and all that, there's going to be an email sign-up form where you can get all of the info as soon as it becomes available. So I just wanted to add that in there for those of you that may be interested in that. But yeah, if you like to choose it with crystals on these cards, then let's go ahead and pop some crystals on these cards. All right, my loves, if you'd like to choose with crystals, here are our crystal options. So over here on group number 1, we have this gorgeous piece of Lemurian quartz. And then over on group, this quartz does not want to stay down. Okay, and then over on group 2, we have this really pretty seashell. So it's not crystal, but it is a shell. And then over on group 3, we have this sunset aura quartz. Then on group number 4, we have this, this is an interesting shape, but this is titanium aura quartz for group number 4. And then for group number 5, we have this sand dollar. So those are our 5 different options. So again, take a moment, pause the video if you'd like to find the pile that you are the most drawn towards. Then once you're done choosing your pile, there's going to be timestamps linked down below in the comment box as well as the description box that you can skip ahead and watch your personal reading for the month of June. So with that being said, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into today's video. Okay, so group number 1, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be your June prediction. So let's hop right into it. Okay, so group 1, here's what we have for you. We have the Sun upright, then we have the Ten of Swords being reversed, we have the Knight of Pentacles being reversed, then we have the Four of Wands, the King of Cups, and then our 2 other cards that we have at the moment are Lords of the Records and then also Integrate. So what I'm seeing for you in the month of June, group 1, with the Lemurian Quartz. Lemurian Quartz is such a powerful crystal. It's connected to ancient Lemuria. It's connected to some Atlantean energy. I've always felt Atlantean energy from them. So I feel like this is like a soul upgrade month for you. Just the fact that you are drawn to the Lemurian Quartz and the cards that we have here. So the Sun card, the month of June is going to be like entering a period of feeling like a rebirth, almost like your soul can have fun and be a little bit of a kid again. It's kind of like you're letting a huge weight go as well and completing a old phase, because we have the Ten of Swords being reversed, and the Ten of Swords reversed is such a great position for that card because it indicates that a bunch of burden or hardship is finally like coming off of our shoulders. If we've been carrying a lot of responsibility, weight, pain, aggravation, or we've been just going through a bit of a harder time, or even if it feels like, I don't know, it's like you're closing out just a harder period of your life, and June is like this opening up to the sun, to this summery feeling, to this open feeling like we can finally be free and we're not like tied down or weighed down by so much anymore. So there's something where there's a weight coming off of your shoulders during the month of June. And I also see you taking a break from like work. I don't know if you're planning on going on a vacation, group number 1, or if you're planning a getaway or something that you're looking forward to in the month of June, but it does look like there's a break from having to work, a break from having to constantly move forward and push yourself. It's kind of like you're taking time to almost celebrate. Four of Wands can indicate the completion of a phase, a celebration, reaching an important milestone and accomplishment, and then being able to just like sit back and celebrate it. But since this card also kind of comes with this feeling of a vacation, I don't know if some of you guys are entering like this summer vacation mode, or if some of you guys are entering this, I don't know, just a certain phase in June where maybe you're planning a getaway, or you are taking a bit of a getaway or a vacation somewhere that you're really excited about. Or this could even just be a break in general, like just a break from work. And it could even be like a staycation and just being like, okay, it's time for me to recuperate my energy and not spend so much of it in how we've been spending it lately. I think you've been spending a lot of your energy for the past few months, group number 1. And June is this time of rest and relaxation, and I feel like it's gonna really fulfill you in so many deep ways. The Four of Wands with the King of Cups, like, oh, that's just like the cherry on top, you know what I mean? So your month of June is bringing you so much more emotional fulfillment. There's this sense of accomplishment, this sense of celebration, and also a sense of being able to like take a break from work and not focus so much on work, or this could even be school or things like that. But I'm definitely seeing June as this month of like taking a break, and I'm seeing like summer vacation. I don't know, that kind of vibe. The King of Cups is also when we feel like we're on cloud 9. We feel so much more in control of our emotions. So if you've been having a hard time with the Ten of Swords kind of feeling, and you're just right now kind of closing out that chapter, you are going to reach this emotional kind of mature place where all of that hard work is kind of like paid off, and we're able to just celebrate it and feel so good about it. Like there's just this feeling of emotional happiness, like you're in control of your emotions again, And it's also like you're on cloud 9 of your emotions. You're on cloud 9 and big things are happening. There's something big that's going to really fill you back up emotionally. That's, I think, happening in the month of June for you. The card Lord of the Records, this says the archive of your soul information is open and ready for you to access. You can now align more deeply with your soul purpose. So something that you're accomplishing or doing in the month of June is aligning you deeper to your soul's purpose. And I think you're getting back in harmony. That's why the music is here. We're getting back in harmony and flow in the month of June. We're closing out a harder chapter. There's a hard chapter that's closing, and our life is getting back into harmony. Then we also have integrate. So you're also integrating a new lifestyle, I think. What you seek has been given. Rest to process these upgrades. There is something that you have accomplished in June, that you're accomplishing in June, and then you get to rest and relax because you're accomplishing it. And now you get to just integrate this accomplishment. You get to integrate what you've learned and just rest and enjoy it. The next few cards we have safe home, and we also have knowledge. Ooh, so you may have been like learning something new, or I even think in the month of June, you are learning a huge lesson through all that you've kind of accomplished in the past few months. I think you're learning a deep lesson about how you want your life to be. And I don't think you ever want to go back to this hardship again. There's new wisdom that you're coming across that'll help you navigate life to where you never need to work this hard again, and you can just begin kind of enjoying life more. There's this sense and this realization of like, hey, life is meant to be enjoyed, not working your butt off to have these like small windows of enjoyment. It should be enjoyed throughout. And I think that there's going to be this desire to start enjoying your life more along the way rather than just have small little spurts of it. And then we also have safe home. This, I'm gathering that you're going to be changing your routine. I also feel like you're going to feel safer because maybe we've been feeling like unstable lately in our home. Like maybe we feel like we have no time to relax, or maybe we feel like our home just hasn't felt like home lately. In the month of June, I think it's time to start making your home feel like a home again, where you can rest, recuperate, relax, and regenerate. We also have longevity. I think you're also going to start thinking about long-term goals, long-term visions, so that you're not burning yourself out anymore. You're thinking about the big picture, like how can I create something that's more sustainable in the long term? How can I focus on long-term happiness rather than just having short little bursts of it? So I think you're gaining a lot of wisdom in the month of June, and you're just integrating all that you've done, all that you've accomplished. You're able to kind of celebrate it, relax, let loose, and also enjoy yourself. I think there's a big milestone that you are reaching. The next few cards, we have movement. Movement can signify travel, but it can also just signify that things are moving ahead again, whereas before it maybe felt like we were sort of stuck needing to complete something, but now it feels like we're finally moving ahead and things are moving again. We also have coming to life. So part of you is also learning, or not necessarily learning. I think you're learning, for one, how to enjoy life more. But I think in the month of June, you're also just coming back to life after a huge period of just working really hard and maybe almost burning yourself out or feeling like a bit under the weather or something like that. Like, I don't know, mentally, maybe we felt very taxed, very like we were just going through mental hardship. You're coming back to life in the month of June. You're feeling more homey again. You're creating more long-term happiness. You're focused on long-term happiness rather than like short-term satisfaction. And then we have education and knowledge. Some of you may be thinking of like learning something new. Learning something new keeps coming up. Maybe some of you are like, ooh, should I go back to school for something? Or like, yeah. Maybe some of you are getting interested in learning something new. doing something new. You might take up a new hobby, a new interest is coming to you in the month of June. Maybe you're educating yourself on something else. Maybe you're educating yourself on how to like create this new lifestyle that you want. Because there's a new lifestyle that I think that you are going to be very drawn towards in the month of June. And I think you're almost educating yourself on like, okay, how can I make that new lifestyle happen? I almost see you like journaling and planning out like a new schedule, a new routine, and a new lifestyle. It's like a new you is like wanting to birth through group number 1. And it's like the closing of a chapter of an old version of you. Your soul is like wanting to really come to life. And I think that you are learning and integrating and writing down and planning out how you're actually going to be able to do that, to have a life that you actually love living rather than just like working super, super hard. The next few cards that we have positivity. So I think the month of June is just welcoming in a bunch more positivity and good energy. We also have the card of innocence as well. So innocence comes up when we're like opening up a new chapter, because this is a chapter that we're kind of like unfamiliar with. So there is a sense that you're unfamiliar with this new kind of like energy that's coming into your life. Maybe a new lifestyle, this new routine. Maybe we feel kind of like innocent with it. There's like new things that are happening that we haven't gotten familiar with. But overall, we're feeling like very positive. Things are moving forward. We feel like we're coming to life. We are learning more things about how we can create this new lifestyle. We might even have a new interest or a new hobby or a new thing that we are educating ourselves on, or a class that we're taking or something like that. So yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and shuffle to get any last few cards on this reading. So group 1, any last cards for group 1 for the month of June? We have the Explorer. Some of you are definitely thinking about traveling. Oh, that's a lot of cards. I'm not going to do that many. Okay, any last cards for group 1? Share wisdom. So some of you may even be teaching others what you know. Some of you may be interested in sharing your knowledge in some way. The Explorer, though, is really sticking out to me. You are like very interested in exploring like new ideas, new topics, possibly traveling, and just making like a new you. It's like almost like you're creating a new vision. You're exploring your future by imagining what your future could be if you take different routes. Because it's almost like you're standing at this fork in the road right now. And the month of June, you're like, okay, you're going to be exploring and thinking about all these different paths that you could possibly take and what you really want to create for yourself. And then I think you're going to be, looking into, okay, how can I make that more of a possibility in my future? So that is what we have here. We're also going to take our Astro dice. We're going to roll the zodiac sign dice 3 times to get the top 3 zodiac signs that are most likely going to be the most prominent in your life during the month of June. This could be somebody's sun, moon, or rising sign. Or it can be a reflection of your own. We have Gemini coming up, Libra coming up, Libra again, so a lot of Libra energy, and Sagittarius. So Gemini, Libra, and Sagittarius energy seem like the most prominent in the month of June. Now we're going to roll all these together to get any last info. We have Gemini coming up again. So Pluto in Gemini in the first house. So there's a fork in the road of like who you really want to be, group 1. And the Gemini energy is also all about knowledge and education and being curious, learning new things. It can also symbolize short trips and things like that. But Pluto, when Pluto's in the first house, we're shedding our old self. So there is a part of you that you're really starting to shed, and you're stepping into a new version of you that has been wanting to come out. So the new version of you is coming to life. Like, look at all this sand that was once us. It's like dried up, it's old, we're shedding it, and the real us is like birthing through, or like I should say, the new us the new version of us is like birthing through, and we're realizing what we don't want anymore and what we do really want. And it's a huge self-transformative month for you. And it is also, if some of you guys are Geminis, it is possibly the time of your birth. June is, you know, obviously we start in Gemini season, and also in the end of May. And then we also have Cancer season at the end of June. So yeah, it could also be your solar return. Maybe you had a solar return recently if you are a Gemini. But if not, this reading is still relevant for you, but I just wanted to point that out. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this reading, group number 1. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. Okay, so group number 2, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be your reading, so let's hop right into it. Okay, so group number 2, we have the King of Pentacles upright, the Three of Cups reversed, the Two of Pentacles upright, the Two of Swords reversed, the Hierophant and the Two of Cups upright. So let's talk about what all of this means. So when we start off with the King of Pentacles, I think that there's going to be a big focus on accomplishing certain things, getting stuff done, setting the proper foundation, sticking to a schedule, sticking to a routine. I think that you are really determined about something. There's a determined energy to start off the month of June. Then when we have the Three of Cups being reversed, we're so determined that we may even be like canceling plans with friends, canceling plans, and just kind of being like, okay, I have no time to like, you know, see you, I have no time to do this, I have no time to do that. It's kind of like there's a really busy kind of energy happening in the month of June, and we're just really determined to get our shit done. But the Three of Cups reverse does also come as a reminder for us to celebrate our small achievements. So as you're making progress, you know, especially when we're really determined, sometimes we can be so determined that we don't take time to celebrate the small progress, and we see small progress as a negative thing rather than a good thing. This is a reminder to celebrate that small progress, because it's going to help motivate you more rather than discourage you. So there is a little reminder in here of the tarot being like, hey, remember to celebrate those small wins. I know that you want to just like push through on something, or, you know, you're really determined, but it is important to kind of like celebrate yourself and encourage yourself through those small accomplishments. We also have the Two of Pentacles here, and it's also interesting that we have 3 2 cards, because the twos are really significant, because they can resemble that we have a choice, that we're juggling between something, or that we're at kind of like a little bit of a crossroads, we're debating something. So the Two of Pentacles can symbolize that we're juggling our time and our schedule, just trying to fit everything in. You know, maybe we have a lot on our plate, and so far it seems like we're juggling it okay. But I do think in the month of June, there's just so much determination to just push it through and keep ourselves balanced, which I think that you're going to be doing just fine. But there is, again, a reminder to celebrate those small wins, because it will give us more energy at the end of the day. But it is going to be important for us to kind of say no to certain things that we cannot handle in our schedule. Then we also have the Two of Swords being reversed here. This one symbolizes that we're finally kind of opening up and seeing things for the way that they are. We might have big epiphanies or realizations that help us kind of like move forward on whatever it is that we're super determined about. We're also opening ourselves up in new ways, listening to our heart rather than just being like a machine and getting everything done. We're opening up and we're listening to our heart, and we're being like, okay, like, let's celebrate these wins along the way. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's see what my heart's really calling me towards, because it's going to help you make certain decisions. There might be something that you're weighing out, something that you're debating, and this is going to help you make those important decisions. You know, maybe you're also weighing out like, okay, what can I keep? What do I need to say no to? You know what I mean? Like, we're juggling our schedule. We're looking at what can we sacrifice and push off to another time, versus what do we need to just really like hunker down on and focus on. So I think that there's going to be some juggling with that in the month of June. And then the Hierophant, you're going to be working really hard. Like, look at this woman. She is getting her stuff done. I think it's going to be a month where you're getting your shit together, basically. And you may be like focused on finishing tasks, completing things, doing your best. I think that there's an energy here of where like, you're like, I want to do my best at this thing. Like, I need this to be the best that it can be. And you are meeting the quota. Let's just put it that way. The Two of Cups as our last tarot card. You are meeting that quota. There's a thing that you're desiring to accomplish. There's a vision that you have. And I think by the end of June, somewhere by the end of June here, you have accomplished this task and it came out exactly how you are envisioning it. And it's coming together. There's something that is absolutely coming together in the month of June. And as long as we can stick to, you know, figuring out what we need to say no to versus what we need to say yes to, this is going to come out great. And if we can really focus on studying and putting as much effort into it as possible, it's going to come out great. But we also need to remember to just celebrate our small wins. We don't need to have huge celebrations and distract ourselves, especially if we don't have time for it. But it will be important to encourage yourself, even if you're making not as much progress as you hoped. There is a little reminder here in the tarot. It's like you're going to come out on top as long as you don't discourage yourself, as long as you just continue to encourage yourself. And that's going to motivate you more. So take time to celebrate those small accomplishments, no matter how small they are, because it's going to help push you forward and complete whatever this is, and to also kind of attain the vision that you're desiring here, the outcome that you're hoping for. The two oracle cards that we have this card right here, which is amplified power. Your energy is being amplified, which is, I think, exactly what you need right now, group number 2. That's probably exactly what you need. And it says you hold the power of the ascended masters. You have all the power that you need to accomplish this and attain the vision that you are hoping for. We also have the angel number 44 here. So you have a solid foundation right now to do whatever this is, to complete whatever this is. There's a solid energy here that's going to help you finish this and do this. You have a very solid energy right now. It's like your spirit guides are here with you. They're just like, yes, yes, yes. There's a lot of guidance, you know. And the King of Pentacles says that you have what it takes to get this done, and it is going to be your vision. We also have mind, heart, and will, which I think is another kind of energy that you are needing right now. Maybe not necessarily needing, but it's just great that it's coming up for you. And it says, allow yourself to exist through all your dimensional layers. Think freely, feel deeply, and live fully. So, mind, heart, and will. You're definitely using your willpower to accomplish something. You're using your mind and your heart to kind of like get into that alignment to get these things done that you need to. And you're pushing through, and I really think that you're connecting to the vision that you're hoping for. I also think that there's going to be some sort of celebration here. There's time to finally see people and connect to people again by the end of the month, because maybe we're saying no to certain people at the beginning of the month in order to accomplish something. And then finally we're reconnecting. We're feeling really good. We're able to celebrate. We have the support. There may even be an important partnership in the month of June that's helping you get through this. So maybe there's a person that we're meeting, or maybe this is somebody that we already know that we're connecting to in order to kind of help us through this, or we're able to kind of celebrate with them after we've kind of like, you know, finished whatever this is right here. So that's looking great. And then we have harvest and romance. Ooh, so harvest, all of our hard work is paying off. That is what the harvest represents. So whatever you're working hard on right now, whatever you're finishing up and accomplishing, you are going to be able to reap those rewards. There's going to be a lot of abundance for all the efforts that we're putting in. Then we also have romance, which reminds me of that Two of Cups. So for some of you, there could be the potential for some nice romance blossoming during the month of June. Maybe we're getting a deeper connection with our partner because we're, you know, finishing all of our things, and then it feels really good to connect with those that we love. This can also represent friendships, and romance can also just represent something that we're excited about finally blossoming and blooming. There's something that you are excited about that is blossoming. This could be us feeling really accomplished. Roses and flowers and things like that also resemble like celebrations, accomplishments, feeling really good. This could even be you romancing yourself because you're like, yes, I got it done, like, woo. So there's a lot of just romance on many deep levels in this reading, and it's because I think that you're accomplishing so much, and then you're like, yes, I get to reap those rewards. The next card we have is focus. So yeah, I mean, June is going to be a big focus month for you, group number 2, where we're just getting a lot of stuff done. Like there's a lot to do, I think, in the month of June, and you might be entering June being like, oh my God, how am I going to even get it through, or get through the month of June? But I think you're going to get through it just fine. Like I really think, you know, the fact that we have this card, we have amplified power. Your power is so strong, I think, in the month of June. It's like your spirit guides are coming down and giving you extra energy that you need. And your mind, heart, and will are all in the right place to really get this done. So I think that the amount of focus that you have, the amount of effort that you're putting towards whatever it is that you are doing right now is really going to pay off. And you're going to be able to celebrate and just romance yourself and feel good, and then focus on the amazing things by the end of the month. The next couple cards we have wide open. So I think by the end of the month, you're going to feel like this sense of freedom, this huge, huge, huge sense of freedom. It's like the weight has lifted. We also have sad embrace. So some of you may be kind of like, this may be emotionally taxing on you, like the amount that you're doing. It might be emotionally taxing, and we're going to need a real break after this. I'm also noticing we have 42, 43, 44, and 45 on these cards. I don't know if you guys can see the one that's on this one, but that's 44. So yeah, it's interesting we have these consecutive numbers. So it's kind of just like you're taking things a step at a time to kind of finish them. And it might be emotionally taxing on you, but it's going to be so worth it in the end. We also have the card of wishing well. So there's definitely... you're making a wish for a certain outcome, and I really think that that's going to be coming true for you. There's an outcome that you're desiring, and it does look like you're connecting to that outcome, and you're going to be able to celebrate and feel really good after all is said and done. The next couple cards that we have patience and acceptance. So take your time. There's a message from Spirit here about be patient, take your time, don't rush yourself. Definitely create a solid plan. Like the King of Pentacles here and the Two of Pentacles, create a solid schedule and a solid plan that you're going to stick to, but don't rush things. Have patience, because it's going to pay off to have patience, because then you're going to not miss essential things. Don't rush it. Be patient with yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Create a schedule, stick to it, and things will happen. And then acceptance. There's certain things that we may have to just accept. Like maybe we're not going to be able to accomplish as much as we want every single day. There's things that we may just have to accept, but we're still going to get to the end goal. Like there's a huge message from Spirit here. It's like, don't be upset. Don't be upset about certain things not happening, because you're getting to your end goal regardless. Your mind, heart, and will in the right place. You have this huge amount of amplified power that's, again, coming from Spirit, coming from the universe to help you through this time. So like, just be patient, because this is all coming together. All right, and then let's go ahead and shuffle this deck of cards to get any last info here. So yeah, you're putting something together. You're really like weaving an outcome. There's a vision that you have in your mind, and you're really weaving that outcome. But you maybe have to cut certain ties to maybe certain expectations, or saying no to certain plans that we're currently tied to that we just don't have time for. There's going to be stuff that you're going to have to say no to in the month of June. And then we also have the Death card. This is actually one of the best cards in the deck. In any deck, the Death card is actually such a good card. A lot of people fear the Death card, but it's so good. So death symbolizes that we're going through huge transformation. We're closing out an old chapter. So as you like finalize certain stuff, you are closing an old chapter that you will never have to return to, group number 2. You are closing out an old chapter, and there's a new you birthing out. So you are going through this time where you're at the end of June. I think you're going to be able to shed your old skin, and you won't have to put that same skin back on again, and you can just be free, and kind of like a new you gets to come out and enjoy life and live life to its fullest, live life to your fullest. So yeah, but during the month of June, it's like we're really like needing to hunker down on certain stuff in order to complete it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take our astro dice here. And then we're going to roll the zodiac sign dice 3 times to get the top 3 zodiac signs that are most likely going to be the most prominent in your life in the month of June. This could be somebody's sun, moon, or rising sign, or even a reflection of your own. So let's see what we get here. We have Aries coming up. We have Libra coming up. And we have Taurus. So Aries, Libra, and Taurus energy seem like they're very prominent in the month of June. And then let's go ahead and roll these zodiac sign dice all together now to get any last info. So we have Uranus in Leo in the 3rd house. So Uranus deals with a lot of change. The 3rd house deals with learning, education, small travel, studying, finishing things up, all that jazz. So Uranus dealing with change, there's something that's shifting. This even deals with friends as well. The 3rd house can deal with friendships and communications coming in. So maybe we're changing our kind of like immediate plans. This can deal with changing your immediate plans, unexpected shifts and changes to schedules. Unexpected shifts and changes to certain learning, or yeah, just like schedules. I'm really hearing schedules in my head. Like this is dealing with your schedules and your small immediate plans that you have. And there could be spontaneous new plans that end up coming up, spontaneous new opportunities that come up. And the Leo here basically symbolizes that there's this energy like, oh, we have a really big heart, but we're really wanting to highlight and spotlight certain things that are really important. So there's going to be some unexpected shifts. This can also be us unexpectedly, being put on the spot, and like the spotlight is on us for a second. So there could be some sort of, opportunity or thing or event, because the 3rd house can also deal with events as well, events and other people. There could be like an opportunity to be invited to some sort of important event or something like that, or something that we're doing or saying is like highlighted. Maybe it's something that you're working on right now, something that you want to finish, that you can't wait to show off. That can also be what this represents. So there might be something that you're kind of completing right now that you are so excited to show off. So yeah, that is what we have here, group number 2. Hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. Okay, so group 3, if you chose this pile, then this is going to be your reading, so let's hop right into it. Okay, so group 3, we have a powerful month of June for you. So we have the 8 of Swords, King of Swords upright. Then we have the Hermit and the King of Wands being reversed. And then we have the Death upright. So the Death is actually a really good card. Just want to point that out right away. But let's talk about what's happening in the month of June for you. So when we start off with the 8 of Swords, this is like representing your kind of current moment. And in the current moment or in the recent past, you may have been feeling like we're stuck, or we may have been feeling like we can't move forward on something, or we feel like the external world is stopping us from certain things. We feel like certain stuff is out of our control and we may feel stuck because of it. But in the month of June, since we have the King of Swords right next to it, you are like really starting to shift your mindset. And instead of feeling down about certain things, because these could even be your thoughts almost weighing you down and making you feel unmotivated, making you feel unworthy, or like we can't start something. And it's almost like we've been stuck in a mindset of discouragement, where we've been discouraging ourselves from doing stuff. But with the King of Swords in the month of June, it's like you're taking back control over your mind. If your mind has been weighing on you, group 3, that is a huge shift. Like that is going to be no more in the month of June. You're like, I'm so done with it. And there's this feeling of like, okay, I really want to be more in control of my mind and of my choices, rather than feeling like my life is being chosen for me, rather than feeling like my mind is stopping me from certain stuff. It's like you're really taking back your control and your power in the month of June. It's also next to the Hermit being reversed, so I think you're also kind of coming out of this sort of like shell or cocoon that you've been in as well. It's like you are reaching a new level of like confidence and just coming back out, allowing your emotions and your heart to come back out, because we were in this sword phase where everything was just our mind, our mentality, and it's been sort of maybe our focal point lately is our mind and our mentality and certain beliefs that we have that may be holding us back. And you are finally starting to come back out. You're like, I don't want to live like that anymore. I don't want to feel like that anymore. And so there's certain things that I think are happening, certain things that are changing within yourself, within your mind, that are allowing you to go after freedom again. And it's also next to the King of Wands being reversed. So there's part of you that's like, I want to go back out there and find inspiration again. I want to be more of a leader again, but maybe we've been scared of like being a leader. There's part of us that might be scared of like the responsibility of being a leader, or the responsibility of like taking matters into our own hands. There could be a little bit of fear around that. But the month of June is really starting to push us to come out of that comfort zone and to really start to grab hold of our own responsibility again. And this is going to allow you to be creative and start leading your life again. So the month of June is this huge pivotal point where you are breaking free. You're having major breakthroughs mentally and physically even, because some of you may have been feeling like you've just been in solitude a lot, or you've been keeping a lot of this to yourself. So if you've been doing that, if you've been keeping your real feelings in solitude, or maybe even you've been keeping yourself in solitude, that is shifting and changing, and you are finally coming back out. But when you come back out there, I do think there's going to be maybe a little bit of certain anxieties or fears around like, okay, what do I do now? You know, maybe we want to think more deeply about the vision that we have, but there's something urging us to just get out of our comfort zone, get out of our shell, and start opening up again. And then we have the Death card. So you are going through a major transformation, and you will never be this same person again. The month of June is this major transformation month for you, which is why the Death card is so good, because it's almost like this metamorphosis where you've been in this cocoon. Like, look at, she's all surrounded by all of this stuff, and like the Hermit is about being surrounded in a cave as well. So it's almost like you've been in your cocoon for the past while, and it's been making you feel safe, but it also is restrictive in certain ways. But this restriction has actually been helping strengthen you, because the amazing thing about a butterfly when it's in the cocoon, of course, that's where it goes through its metamorphosis, but the cocoon is also, it serves another purpose as well. The butterfly has to break free of its cocoon, and it's very difficult to break free out of its cocoon. It has to face a lot of fears and has to use a lot of mental and physical strength to get out of that cocoon. But that is what makes the butterfly strong enough to fly. If you help a butterfly out of its cocoon, its wings will not have gained enough muscle or strength to be able to fly. And so one of the things that is coming up for you, group number 3, is that this stage that you're coming out of was very essential to your growth, even if you don't see it at the moment, even if it feels kind of still like the struggle and you're like, I'm still getting out of the cocoon. It's going to make sense after a while, because this is when you're going through that metamorphosis, that transformation, and a new you is emerging. There's a new you that wants to emerge, and I think that you've been feeling it, group number 3. You've been feeling it. You have had enough of this restrictive feeling. You've had enough of this sort of just like being stuck and succumbing to your mind and your mentality or belief systems and things like that, or other restrictions. You're just really, you're over it. So there's going to be a shift in your mindset that's coming in the month of June. And a new you is emerging. This is the death of the old you. That's what the Death card represents. Is this old self. You're shedding your skin. You're shedding the cocoon. You are not the same person again, and you never will be. So this is a great time. And we also have the self-awareness card for you as well, group 3. And the self-awareness card, I think that you are just learning a lot more about you how you ended up, you know, where you were, but also the amazing things that has been teaching you and you've been learning from it. This also says, let go of your egoic attachments. Your evolution comes with release. So you are releasing like old egoic attachments. Like maybe we've had a hard time coming out of restriction because we've been stuck in certain mentalities where it felt comfortable to like put the responsibility or blame on other things. Or maybe, you know, we've just found comfort somehow in the restrictive, more solitude sort of phase, which is fine. It was essential to our growth, so don't ever feel bad about it. But at the same time, there's self-awareness coming through in the month of June, and you're learning how to release this old phase because you're ready to come back out, and your soul has been like urging you like, hey, like it's time to just like get over ourselves. We might fear judgment. We might fear being criticized for who we really are. We might be hiding who we really are. The month of June is really calling you to come out of your shell. And this card almost looks like a shell if you think about it, which is interesting, even though it's like an eye with a staircase. But anyway, universal consciousness. You have merged in pure alignment with the universe. You are connected with everything. So this is also realizing that you have like unlimited options available to you, and you can change your life at any moment, and you can choose to go down any path at any moment. This is reminding you that you can up-level yourself, and I really think that you are going to be walking up this conscious staircase. It's almost like you are up-leveling your consciousness, realizing more deep truths about the universe, more deep truths about yourself, who you are, what you really want, and you're going to start following a new path. You're really starting to walk up and raise your vibe. You're raising your overall, like, the way that you feel on a daily basis. Like, you're up-leveling yourself in so many ways, group 3, in the month of June, and it's going to feel so good with this new you emerging. But we're probably going to have to get over our fear of leadership, our fear of kind of leading ourselves and taking full responsibility. And like, you know, it can be a lot. It can be a big weight. But at the same time, there's this energy here of like, it's time to step up into this new self. You might be making brand new decisions and creating a new kind of like schedule or routine for yourself as well. We also have the card of imagination. So imagination now sets me free. So you're being freed from something. I think that you're going to start imagining what you really want your life to be. And that is part of the big motivating factor to come out of solitude and to kind of just start facing our fears and going for it. Then we also have true love come to me. This can talk about our passions, or it can also talk about, you know, love in general. So maybe part of us is like, I really need to get out of my shell in order to maybe find love. So that could be a huge aspect of this. Or maybe we're like, I really need to get out of my shell so that I can do what I'm passionate about, so I can create a life that I'm very passionate about, that I love. You are really wanting to create a life that you love, group 3. And the month of June is about breaking out of all the molds or all the restrictive things that maybe we currently have in our lives that are holding us back from that. We also have the card of regeneration. So we're coming back alive. Regeneration is like coming back alive. We're regenerating it. So if we've kind of like shut ourselves off for the past little while, if we've kind of just like, if we've shut ourselves off, the month of June is about regeneration and coming back to life. The next few cards, we have unexpected visitors. So this could mean unexpected opportunities. This could mean meeting unexpected people, because we're coming out of our shell, right? We might start meeting new people. We might start seeing new things, new thoughts, new ideas, seeing a new world. We also have the card of dry desert. So I think as you come out of your shell, you're kind of realizing like, ooh, there's like a blank page in front of me. I can do anything here. There's a lot of potential, but we have to kind of create it. So it might feel like a lot. We also have Field of Dreams. I think you're going to start getting really like dreamy in the month of June, because I think you're realizing, ooh, there's a blank canvas here in front of me. Like I could kind of do anything I want at this point. So a big part of you is going to be like, ooh, let's start dreaming. Let's start thinking outside of the box. But we're going to also have to kind of like take leadership as well at the same time when we start thinking outside of the box, because the only way to get there is to take action. I don't necessarily see you taking maybe a ton of action yet in the month of June, but you're in the planning stage and you're finally coming out of your shell. You're opening up the door to like a new unexpected realm. And you're like, okay, it's time to just start opening up the door and imagining what I really want to create. We also have breaking free. Oh, this makes total sense for you, group number 3, because we have the 8 of Swords, which signifies that we need to break free of something. You are breaking free of limitation, negative mindsets, thoughts that are holding you back. You're breaking free of fears that have held you back. Breaking free of like other things that maybe felt like they were controlling you. You're breaking free of them. We also have the card of turn away. So this is time for you to not look back anymore. The Death card symbolizes that a new you is emerging and you're not going to be that same person again. So it's like you're turning away from your past. You're like, I just can't look there anymore. I can't go there anymore, because then I'm going to find myself back there. So it's like you're really starting to turn away and like close that old chapter. You're opening up a brand new door, but when you open up that brand new door, you're also closing it behind you. You're like, I'm not going to look back. I'm not going to go backwards. So this is a massively transformative month for you, group 3. My goodness. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and shuffle these cards to get any last information. We have nature. So part of you may want to get back out into nature, kind of come out of your shell. When we're in a cave, we're not surrounded by a lot of nature. We're not surrounded by a lot of stuff. So part of you might just want to get your feet wet into like life again. We also have release. So you're also releasing all of this old stuff, which makes sense that is coming up for you. So huge release. We also have the outlaw. You're like giving yourself the boot. You're like, don't turn back. Like it's time to just break free of certain things. You also might be giving other things in your life the boot. So you might be outlawing certain stuff. You might be looking at your old life and you're like, I'm not going to give into that anymore. I'm not going to do that anymore. And I'm not going to do this. And I'm not going to do that. Like you are really starting to give things the boot and kicking them out of your life, because there's certain things that no longer serve you to be doing. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and use our Astro Dice to get some more information on this reading. First, we're going to take the Zodiac sign dice and we're going to roll it 3 times to get the top 3 Zodiac signs that are most likely going to be the most prominent in the month of June for you. This could be somebody's sun, moon, or rising sign, or even a reflection of your own. So let's see, group 3, we have Aries coming up, Scorpio, Gemini. So Aries, Scorpio, and Gemini look like they're the top 3 zodiac signs for you. So with that being said, let's go ahead and roll all of these together now to get any last info. We have the North Node in Libra in the 4th house for you. So the North Node deals with your destiny. Libra deals with balance. We can't be like, in order to get to our destiny, we're going to have a combination of moving forward and also retreating and relaxing. There needs to be a balance of that. The 4th house deals with your home life. So part of you may also be wondering, where do I really belong? Your consciousness is really awakening. You're done the nighttime phase of your life. You're ready for like something new, something more. So I think there's going to be some deep thought about what you really desire to root yourself towards. Some of you may desire to like shift your home in some way. Maybe some of you are thinking about moving or working from home or doing something around the home life that's kind of different. And you're also thinking about where you really want to belong or end up and what you really want to be rooted to, because we no longer want to root ourselves somewhere that doesn't feel good, that feels restrictive or fearful. Instead, we want to root ourselves somewhere that feels dreamy, creative, in alignment with us, something that really resonates with us. So I think you're rethinking your foundation. This could even be your foundational beliefs. You may be rethinking like, okay, What do I really want to have as my foundation and my routine? What do I want that to look like, right? So I think that you're moving towards a much healthier time in the month of June and kind of getting rid of all the things that are not in alignment with that. So that is what we have here for you, group number 3. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. All right, so group number 4, if you chose this pile, this is going to be your reading, so I'll top right into it. All right, so group 4, there's a lot going on in your group. One thing I'm noticing off the bat is these rainbows, which we're going to talk about in a second. Like, look at these rainbows, and this is kind of almost like a rainbow too. So there's a lot of color and dimension coming into your life in the month of June. But we have the Page of Pentacles, the Page of Cups, the Temperance, the Four of Pentacles, and then the Moon being reversed. So the month of June looks like you are wanting to just add more fun, more color to life. There's new opportunities that are coming in. I think there's new ideas that you are having, kind of like new things that I think maybe you're wanting to try out, maybe in your routine or in your schedule. You're like, oh, I want to try that out. I want to like implement that and see how that works for me. I think that you're trying new things and you're having like these new ideas that you're wanting to maybe implement into your life. So there's also a desire to kind of like maybe be healthier or add more healthy things into your life. And I'm just saying this because like this card says, be gentle and nourish your human soul. And we have these mouths, right? So it's kind of like what we're eating maybe. Maybe we're wanting to protect our body more, nourish our body better. So there could be new ideas coming around that, or just new ideas for other things. I think that you're just wanting to try out some new stuff, adding new kind of flair to your schedule in a way to kind of just see what really works for you. Kind of finding more balance as well. We have Temperance, which can symbolize moderation. So some of you may want to moderate certain things in your life. Maybe you're looking at certain stuff that you're like, I don't want to like give in too much to this thing, and I don't want to over excessively use this thing. We're kind of like adding in more moderation. This could be moderation around our finances and our spending habits, because maybe we're not wanting to spend everything, and maybe it just kind of feels like, we're wanting to be a little bit more responsible and maybe be more moderate with certain things. Maybe we're also wanting to be more moderate with how much like junk food we eat or negative things that we do, right? We're wanting to be a little bit more conscious over our health, over our lifestyle, and over ourselves, right? Maybe some of you are wanting to create a better financial plan for the future as well, because we do have the Four of Pentacles here. So in the month of June, some of you may also be like, I want to create better spending habits. Maybe you're wanting to cut away certain stuff that is sort of like useless to you, because maybe you're like, you know what, I can really cut back in this area and it'll be better for me in all these different ways. I really think that you're focusing more on health, more on sustainability, and more on your future happiness as well. So the Four of Pentacles can symbolize that, and Temperance. And we are kind of just like trying out these sort of like new ideas here with the pages and seeing what really kind of works for you. The Moon being reversed symbolizes that there may be certain fears about our future. Like you may have certain stuff coming up about your future where you're like, oh my God, like what if this happens? And I kind of need to prepare for that, and I need to worry about this. So there could be certain stuff that you're just kind of like getting your ducks in a row during the month of June to kind of just like feel more comfortable and more secure, because the feeling of security is going to be important for you in the month of June. Like getting your ish together so that you can feel more solid and secure about your future. But maybe there's also something that you're concerned about. Maybe you're concerned about your foundation in some way. Maybe like something, you know, that maybe you're going to need to maybe move soon, or maybe you know that a job change is coming up for you, or maybe you know, certain things, and you're wanting to kind of plan and prepare for those things so that you don't like have them be too unexpected. So I think you're really trying to just plan for the future in the month of June and think about all the possibilities that may happen, that you're just like, you know what, I need to like focus on that so that I don't run into that, so that doesn't happen. So I just think it's going to be a month where you're planning and getting your stuff together, but also don't want that to sound like a boring month either, because I don't see boredom. I don't see this being a boring month. We have all these rainbows here, like group 4. You are really adding more fun and more flair into your life while just also being like more secure and more stable. It's like you're thinking about these things, but I don't think that they're overtaking your month, if that makes sense. They're not overtaking your month. There's still a lot of shine going on and a lot of things that I think you're going to be really excited about that you are maybe saving up for. Maybe you're saving up for something really exciting, or maybe you are focusing more on your health and well-being, and that's just like something that just feels really good for you. I think that you're going to have new epiphanies on things that are like, ooh, that's like so fun. How come I never realized that before? Like, for example, if you're focusing on health, you might come across a brand new recipe and you're like, oh my God, that's like so good. I'm so excited about that. Like, ooh, you know, there's going to be some certain exciting things that are happening that are really lighting up your month and making it feel like a rainbow of color. There could be new opportunity coming in, new ideas. There's something new that you are going to be excited about though, because the rainbows are absolutely something that we are excited for. It's like a rainbow symbolizes like hope, growth, luck, and abundance coming in. So there is like new abundance coming in for you that I think makes you feel really good in many different ways. So yeah, and it's also full spectrum. There's like a full spectrum feeling of happiness, like there's a fulfilling feeling in the month of June for you, group 4. The next couple cards, we have the card of glamour. So some of you may be focused on, maybe some of you are going to be like, oh, I want to like kind of buy new clothes, or like focus on making something beautiful. Maybe you're just going to maybe you're not necessarily buying new clothes, but you're like at least focusing on like making yourself the best version of yourself. Maybe you're focused on a healthy diet because you're like, ooh, that's gonna like clear my skin, or it's gonna make me feel this way. But there's somehow your appearance is coming through in the month of June. And maybe you're focusing on like, ooh, what can I do to kind of like make things, to, I don't know, improve things, to feel my best, you know? We also have safe travel. Some of you may be thinking about making travel plans in the future. Maybe some of you are even traveling in the month of June. And this card would just indicate that all of that is going well. So some of you may have certain travel plans, or you are going to be thinking about making travel plans during the month of June. We also have the card of agreement. So there could be something that you're thinking about, something that you're sort of maybe debating. Maybe it's like this temperance card when it deals with your maybe finances or other choices that you have. I think that you're finally finding solutions that work for you when it comes to your schedule and what you spend your time doing. Because I think you're wanting to moderate certain things and not do things in excess. So I think that you're coming to some sort of like agreement and you're feeling really good about that. You're finding more balance in your life. Like temperance and this card both deal with balancing your life. So we're adding more balance, more moderation, and it's feeling much better and much more secure. I think it's going to make you feel more financially secure, and it's going to make you feel more secure about your future in general. We also have the card here of sacred pool. So the sacred pool is where we kind of like wash off all of like the negativity, and we're rebirthing, we're feeling good. It's almost like a baptism. It's like I think you're creating like a more sacred promise to yourself. And you're also seeing yourself as more sacred. And I think that you're kind of wanting to cleanse. Maybe some of you will do like an actual like cleanse, like a body cleanse, juice cleanse, something like that. When I'm looking at this card, I'm seeing like a cleanse. Maybe you're wanting to cleanse your diet. Maybe you're wanting to focus more on your hygiene in some way. We also have magic prayer. There's something that you're definitely wishing for and hoping for. Especially maybe when it comes to worrying about your future in some way. Like you're maybe worried about like, oh, what's going to happen with this or that. Maybe there's certain conversations that we need to have with certain people about like, oh, okay, so like, you know, maybe we can see something, maybe we need to move soon. Maybe like a job thing is like changing or something, and we're praying for an answer. And maybe there's certain conversations, again, that we're having with the people that we are around in order to kind of like gain insight. on our future to kind of like make things more solid, more known. We also have the card here of spark. So there also could be like a new idea coming through. Maybe something you've been praying for, there's like a spark of something that you've been hoping for or praying for. This could be praying for like a good outcome when it comes to something that's a little bit unknown to you right now. And then all of a sudden, your prayers, it's almost like your prayers have been answered on something. During the month of June, I really think by mid to end June, your prayers are going to be answered about something that you've been wondering about, something that's made you a little bit unsure. Or this is like a spark of new inspiration coming in. Yeah, your prayers are definitely being answered in some way, group number 4. Ooh. Okay, the next 2 cards we have dreaming and be spontaneous. There's something that you're really hoping for. And this card I also think is signifying that in the month of June, I think that you're going to be deeply thinking about what you want in your future and sort of dreaming up a new life. Again, I think you're trying out new things to see kind of what really works for you in your schedule and what makes you feel the best, what makes you feel most yourself. You may be dreaming up a brand new you. Then we also have be spontaneous. Some of you may take a spontaneous trip. Some of you may do something kind of like out of the ordinary. Oh, and I also totally forgot to talk about these cards. Hold on. So I kind of like touched on this one a little bit, but this one is about nourishing yourself. So this one says, you are ascending. Be gentle and nourish your human form at this time. Exist in a state of love, not fear. You're ascending, so there's certain things that might start falling away, certain things that might start not really resonating anymore, and maybe that's also why we had the moon being reversed, because certain things are coming up and the universe is like, hey, don't have fear, just exist in a state of love instead, because it's all going to work out. And then we also have the card here of create a container for your energy so that you remain in your own frequency. Stay in your strong sense of self. So there could be certain friendships, certain routines and habits that weren't that healthy for us, that maybe we think about falling back on sometimes, because maybe we have like certain friends that constantly, maybe bring us back to our old habits. But this card is about sticking to your new habits regardless. So the month of June, the spirit is really coming through being like, stick to those new habits, the ones that you're really wanting to keep, the ones that you're wanting to do. It is time to do them. Okay, and then, yeah, this is about embracing spontaneity as well. There's like new opportunity that might be coming in, and spirit is also like, okay, embrace the new opportunities that come your way. Allow yourself to be a little bit more spontaneous instead of being very rigid and needing to plan things all the time. There may be a moment in the month of June that's calling you to be more spontaneous and to kind of say yes to something that's maybe a little bit more last minute. But yeah, with that being said, let's get some more cards on this group. So any last cards for group number 4? All right, so speak truth is coming out. So it might be something that we are needing to be more open and honest with. Speaking our truth, opening up. Especially maybe when it comes to falling back into old habits or routines, it's time for us to kind of like speak our truth and ascend above that and just really stick to our own desires and our own plans. We also have shadow. So this is about not falling back into your shadow, not falling back into those same patterns, not falling back into subconscious programs and things like that. This is about being very conscious, making conscious choices. Be conscious in the month of June. Spirit is coming through hard, group 4. Be conscious in the month of June. Don't succumb to old habits and things like that. And then we also have the card of the observer. So it's time to really start to observe yourself, your actions, your thoughts, and to make deliberate choices rather than falling into, again, subconscious programs or habits. So with that being said, let's go ahead and take our zodiac dice, our astro dice. We're going to take the zodiac sign one first. We're going to roll it 3 times to try to get the top 3 zodiac signs that are most likely going to be the most prominent in your life in the month of June. This could be a reflection of someone's sun, moon, or rising sign, or even a reflection of your own. So we have Virgo coming up, Scorpio, Virgo again, and then Capricorn. So Virgo, Scorpio, and Capricorn are coming up. So those look like they're going to be the most prominent zodiac signs in your life during the month of June, or again, that could just be a reflection of your own. So with that being said, let's go ahead and roll all these together to get any last info. Okay, so we have the planet of Mercury in Aries in the 3rd house. So you are definitely creating new schedules, learning new things, making new plans, jumping into like newness. There's a new energy. Aries is that new energy. Mercury is our mind, our plans, our learning, our communication. So we're definitely jumping into like new spontaneous kind of ideas and making new patterns and routines. This can be learning new stuff that we just are so excited to dive into. I really think that you're going to maybe crack open certain books this month that make you kind of dive into a new you. There might be just new education and new learning that you're stumbling upon that really makes you want to dive into a brand new version of you. This can also be a new friend coming into your life as well. So yeah, that is what we have for you. Group number 4 for the month of June. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it made sense for you. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye. All right, so group number 5, if you chose this one, this is going to be a reading, so let's hop right into it. Okay, so group 5, we have the Emperor, the 5 of Swords, the 8 of Pentacles, then we have the Devil reversed and the Hangman reversed. We also have the Way Shower card, and then I think this is the Patience card. So basically your month of June, there is something that you are taking the high road on in order to kind of like get over it and to continue moving forward. Like there could be something that we are, disappointed about, or that we feel bad about. Like there's something, the 5 of Swords coming up, we could feel bad about something, or maybe somebody doesn't have our best interests in mind, and maybe we kind of feel like somebody is not really liking us. But at the same time, we can't let these things stop us. We can't let these hurdles or these kind of inconveniences stop us from pursuing our goal. So we could be dealing with something where somebody, like look at this penguin, he's about to like knock this person. Or maybe he's just like comforting the person, I don't know. But it looks like they're not having the greatest time. So there could be something here where there's like a minor inconvenience on something. And this could have already happened, by the way. This could be something that you're already dealing with. But in the month of June, we have to realize like, okay, but we can't get hung up on these things and let it stop us. Okay, we need to be a way shower. What this card says, it's you're guiding others by living in alignment with your true authentic self. Remember to shine your light and lead by example. So instead of needing to prove ourselves, instead of needing to like, all that jazz, we can just continue kind of living our best life without letting minor inconveniences overly affect us by any means, and just kind of like taking the high road. I'm really seeing you shining your light regardless of what other people think or say. Of course, there is such thing as constructive criticism. That's always good to kind of, look into and hear out. But when it's like negative feedback or it's just like pettiness, it's best for us to just not even engage with it. Like there's something where the universe is like, don't even engage with it. Don't even think about it. Just like be you and like be your best self, which I really see you being. I see you honestly stepping up into your power, being confident, regardless of anything that's kind of going on around you. But by the way, I also don't think that this is going to be a super prominent thing. So I don't want you to enter the month of June being like, oh my God, there's something crazy happening. There's not. Like this is such a minor card compared to all the other things that we have, but it is popping up. So I think Spirit just wanted you to know, like, just like take the high road and just be you. Like Spirit is like here cheering you on. They're just like, do the things that you want to do. Like, be you. So yeah, and look at the candle blew out. So it's just like, just blow away the things that don't matter. Just like put them out. So this is rising up to your power and focusing on the things that you really want to focus on. I think that part of the universe is telling you to not have distractions. There's also like black candle like stuff here. Anyway, the universe is like, don't have distractions. Look at me getting distracted. So this is about putting your effort towards something in the month of June. I see you working hard in order to maybe like provide a service to other people or accomplish something, finish something, but you're really putting your efforts towards something that makes you happy. And I'm honestly feeling this overall really happy energy in the month of June for you, pile number 5. There's an overall really happy energy, regardless of the things that are kind of like, you know, minor inconveniences. I do feel like this overall really happy energy, and also this excitement to work on something. There's like an exciting energy, like, ooh, I really want to work on that. I really want to do that. I really want to accomplish that. There's a really exciting feeling perpetuating underneath, but the universe is like, ooh, in order for that to not be ruined, don't get caught up in anything sort of like that doesn't actually matter. Okay, then we also have the devil being reversed. So this is you freeing yourself from this whole thing. Like, this is time for you to be free and not get restricted or not feel restricted by minor inconveniences or other petty stuff. There could be people that don't want to see you succeed, for example, so they might be telling you like, hey, don't even do that anyway. But I really see you being like, I'm doing it anyway. Like, I love what I do. I want to work on this thing. I want to do this thing. There's something you're so excited about. And I think Spirit's really cheering you on to just go for it. We also have the Hangman being reversed. So it's time for us to just like start moving forward. Let's not wait on it any longer. The Hangman reverse comes with a message of like, how long are we willing to put off our dreams for? How long are we willing to wait for? And the Hangman being reversed reminds us to like create a timeline and freaking stick to it. And like, don't wait around any longer for certain stuff to happen. Let's get our stuff together and let's start moving forward on the things that we want to move forward on. So the month of June, I see you really just getting your act together, starting to move forward. I see a lot more confidence building up because of, you know, who you are and what you're doing and what you're working on. I think that there's just a huge amount of inspiration, and you're just being a way shower and just being like, I'm just gonna do me regardless. And I think it's honestly gonna inspire, you know, other people that are around that, other people that are around you that see you going for your dreams regardless of opinions or other things like that. So there's a really good energy in the month of June where I think you're going to be really excited to work on your stuff. And then we also have the card of patience. So not all will awaken at the same rate. Be patient and hold space for those who need your guidance. So not all people will understand you. There's a reminder here that not all people will understand you, and they might not be moving at your same rate. So this is just be patient. Don't get caught up in it. Don't slow yourself down in order to get everybody else on the same page as you, unless it's really, really necessary. But this is saying that there's something that's not necessary to put yourself on pause for. So keep moving forward regardless. The next couple cards, we have the Justice card. So fairness gets rebalanced regardless. We don't need to like get caught up in it and try to sort it out. This is the card of 5 of Swords, and we have the 5 on top of here, so I feel like this is talking about the karma of this and balancing out the scales of this. The universe has its own way of balancing itself out, so we don't need to get caught up in those things. I know I'm kind of making this card a big deal right here, but for some reason it's kind of like really coming up. I think just to remind you to like, just let it go. Then we also have the Strength card. This is about you just pushing through on the things that you want to push through on, and having the strength to kind of just like be confident about you and make your own decisions. This is pushing through on the things that you want to push through on in the month of June and not letting anything else stop you. We also have the card of Love. Ooh, so I think that this is all about pouring your heart and soul into what you want to pour your heart and soul into, and not listening to what anybody else has to say about that. And that's it. Like, this is about you pouring your heart into what you love. And I really see you working on that. Like you're really working towards something that you want to strive towards, you know? And you're kind of just being a way shower by you just being you. You don't need to stop yourself or hold yourself back. You can just be you and lead by example. The next couple cards, we have the Deep Freeze card. We also have Talisman. So this is about being a way shower as well, the Talisman card. So that one is not even necessarily needed to be repeated, but that's another way shower kind of energy. And then Deep Freeze. So this is a reminder not to get caught up in certain things, not to let certain stuff hold you back. We don't need to put ourselves on pause. And I think you're thawing out. You're thawing out of a pause state because we had the Hangman being reversed. So how long are we going to wait around for until we're moving forward? This month of June is urging you to move forward, and I think you're going to feel that energy very strongly as well, Group 5. Or I think I said Group 4 at one point. This is definitely Group 5, so I'm sorry if I said Group 4 at one point. But this is about you moving forward again and really putting love and effort forward on certain things. No longer pausing, no longer holding back. Like this is us moving forward, 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 and being a way shower and, you know, having patience with those that are around us and not getting caught up in their stuff. The next few cards, we have the card of Solitude. You might also be taking time away for yourself in order to kind of work on something that you're really excited about. This can also be rest and recuperation. We also have ask for help. So there could also be certain things where we're going to need the assistance of other people in order to complete it. I'm also hearing be conscious of who you ask help from, because some people won't do as good of a job. But yeah, this is also definitely asking help when we need it. So there could be certain things where we can't do it all on our own, but most of our things, it's like this is a month where we're really just working on our stuff. We also have the card of Miracles. Whenever we have this card come up, it's kind of like our prayers being answered. So certain stuff that might feel like it's not going right, or certain stuff that's delayed, or we need help with certain stuff, when we even pray, because this can also be just praying. Maybe we don't need physical help or assistance from people, but this can also just be praying for like an answer on something. So miracles could be happening, certain stuff that we need assistance with, closing out old chapters, letting go of like old restriction. It's like these prayers are getting answered for us to help us kind of move forward in the direction that we need to go in. So let's see, any last cards for group number 5 for the month of June? Group 5 for the month of June. We have the card of Trust coming up. And Underworld. So there's certain stuff that you are probably working on, and the underworld can symbolize that we have a lot of pressure on us. You know, maybe we were kind of like stuck on something for a while, but it was essential to our growth because it's making us into who we need to be. So there's certain lessons that we may have recently gone through, but they were really essential for us. But now it's time for us to start moving forward again, and to also trust the process of the universe. This is like really starting to trust yourself, maybe also trusting when we're asking for help, but only asking for help from those that we really trust. I think that you're really building a lot of strength to like make it through something, to kind of push yourself to do something. The strength in this Underworld card, it's like you're really like building up strength right now to accomplish something. So this is having patience with yourself, but I also think that there's this underlying really exciting feeling in the month of June about working on something. Like I can't even explain that feeling enough. Like there's an underlying really excited feeling about doing something or working on something. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take our Astro dice. We're going to take the zodiac sign dice first. We're going to roll it 3 times to get the top 3 zodiac signs that are most likely going to be the most prominent in the month of June for you. So this could be somebody's sun, moon, or rising sign, or even a reflection of your own. We have Virgo coming up. Virgo again, so Virgo is going to be prominent. We have Capricorn, so Virgo, Capricorn, and Aries are the top 3 zodiac signs coming up for group number 5. So with that being said, let's go ahead and roll all these together to get any last info. We have the moon in Cancer in the 8th house. So this is endings and beginnings, closing old chapters, getting over our emotions. So there's certain emotions that it's important to just, it's time to just close it out. Or there could even be certain repressed emotion that it's time for us to just open up about and release. It's time for us to release old pent-up emotion and also transform and transmute it into something new, something that's productive. This is also using it in a creative way. So we may use certain old emotions in a creative manner, or we're also kind of closing old emotional chapters and opening up new ones so that we can have a brand new beginning and a clean slate. But yeah, I'm also seeing a lot of creativity and a lot of maybe like certain feelings. Your feelings and your intuition is going to be really strong in the month of June as well, group number 5. So it's definitely important to be listening to it because it will be speaking to you and guiding you to where you need to go. So that is what we have for you, group number 5. Hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more videos like this in the future, because I'd love to have you there. And hopefully I see you in my next one. Bye.